Hi, I'm Christy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm here with a fall book haul. All right, so I try to do my book hauls kind of like seasonally, and so the last time I did one was a couple months ago. I did one in August, which was right after like my birthday and just like a big summer book haul. And so now it's fall, so let's do it again and like talk about all the books that I have around here that are piling up, that were pre-orders, that I got from authors, that I was sent from publishers, that I got early copies of, books I loved and had to buy for myself, used bookstore hauls, all the things. Let's get into it. These are in like no particular order. I just have like stacks upon stacks. So first up is Chase Our Forever by Kat Singleton. This is the third and supposedly final book in the Sutton Mountain Small Town series. I love the series so much. This one I really enjoyed. I read an arc of it and was sent a finished copy of it. This author, I feel like her billionaire romance series get a lot more hype, which they are a fun time as well, don't get me wrong, but I really enjoy her small town romances. This one is a single dad nanny, grumpy sunshine, billionaire hero, small town found family setting. Really enjoyed this one. Next, I was sent an arc copy of Mine for a Moment by Katarina Mora. So this one is actually out now. It just came out when I'm literally filming this video. And this one, I love the red on here. I think there's a pink copy as well. That was like a Barnes & Noble edition. And so anyways, this one is her first book published with Bloom because some of her books were picked up. And so this is the first book. It's like a spinoff from The Windsors, which is one of her like popular billionaire romance series. I will say this one wasn't a favorite for me. I think I am gonna give it like 3.5 stars maybe. Very smutty, steamy, very quick, fast-paced, entertaining. I just wanted like a bit more. So yeah, not my favorite, but I love the cover. Next, this is from Hello Lovely. So their Trope of the Month box, they have switched over to doing hardcovers, which finally, yes, we love it so much. And so this one is so stinking pretty. This is Thieves and Monsters by Cleo Evans. Very excited to read this one. I think it's Monster, but also Mafia. I'm excited. So here is the gorgeous cover. We have the like pastel moments. We have some sprayed edges in the back as well. Like I said, that holographic is so pretty. We have some really pretty end pages and all of the things, interior formatting, I want to say as well in here. They come with now like ribbon bookmarks, just very pretty. So I'm excited to check this one out. If you want to get your own Trope of the Month box, you can use my code ChristyReadsALot15 to save on the Trope of the Month box, the Hello Lovely shirts and swags and all the things. I'm a rep for them. I have been for years. Love their stuff so much. So yeah, use ChristyReadsALot15 to save. I think there's a wait list for the Trope of the Month box. Possibly, maybe not. Sometimes there's a wait list, sometimes there's not. Either way, join it. Each month is a new trope. You just get a book and it's a lot of fun. Trying to remember if I hauled this one last time. I know I've definitely talked about it in videos, but I can't remember. So this is Beating Heart by Laura Pavlov. This is book 4 in her Magnolia Falls series. Love this series in 2 pieces. This is a single dad hero and the heroine is their neighbor, the new pediatrician in town, and his son's new doctor. Beefcake is the sweetest thing ever. Love the series to pieces. Was sent this finished copy from the author, which I just love her book so much. So yeah, definitely check out Magnolia Falls. Next is one of my new favorites. I read this back in August. It was one of my favorites of the month. So this is Broken Beginnings by Cleo Evans. This is a romantic suspense. Usually this author does monster romances and this was their first time doing Small Town and it was so good. I love this one. It's in my like romantic suspense book rec video. I've talked about it in my favorites book video as well. So love this one. Check it out. All right, next up I have 2 from Catherine Cowell. So these are both Delicate Escape. So she's been doing these really adorable limited edition trope copies. So there's like 4 different tropes and everybody gets like a different one of who gets sent them. So this one I got He Falls First and it's so stinking cute, like the cute little pink hearts on here. So adorable. So this was the trope arc. And then I was also sent the finished copy, which is a hardcover and it is a stunner and it is so stinking pretty. Look at those beautiful hummingbirds. I love the series so much. This is her Sparrow Falls series. This is book 2. Such a special book. I love this couple so much. Basically in here, the heroine is on the run. She's in hiding. She's living in Sparrow Falls for a couple years, which at the beginning of the book, you learn about her things in her past and why she is guarded and just want to like, you know, keep to herself. And so the hero is really into her and always comes into the bakery and she kind of keeps him at a distance and he can tell that she's like wary around him. And so over time, he just like eases into it with her. And I love them so much. They're so special. Definitely check out the series if you haven't. Book 3 comes out next month. Next up, I grabbed this one because everybody was talking about it and I heard it so good. So it's For Better or Hearse by Ava Hunter. This one, I think this cover is stunning and I cannot wait to read this one. I'm hoping to read it before I go to Love in Vegas because the author's going to be there. I'm definitely bringing this copy to get it signed. I think it's stunning and I'm very excited because I've read another book from her and loved it. And so this one sounds so good. So I can't wait. All right, next up I grabbed Wolf by Paisley Hope. This one I grabbed strictly because of the cover. Like look how stinking stunning that cover is. It is so good. This was done by the same artist who did the Bourbon and Lies cover, which I also love and you're going to see here in a minute. And yeah, I had to grab this just based off the cover alone. And this is, I did read it. It's a lot of fun. So it's a dark MC romance where the heroine moves back to her town and she was kind of more like a goody two shoes. It's kind of like opposites attract, good girl, bad boy vibe. And so he is the president of the MC club in their small town, and she is around him now and gets kind of roped in to things with the MC club. And it is very unhinged, very entertaining, very dark, a fun time. I did enjoy this one. Then I was sent an art copy of Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I absolutely love Ruby Dixon books so much, and I'm so excited to have this art copy. I have a finished copy on the way to me as well. It got delayed in shipping, but it's fine. So this is Bull Moon Rising. It just came out in October. This is a Minotaur arranged marriage romance. I'm a Ruby Dixon stan for life, so I cannot wait. Next up, I have this stunning edition of Quicksilver by Callie Hart, which basically, I don't know if it'll focus on here, but basically this one has like the embossed, raised, shiny bits. So this was from the author, which basically I have a new local romance bookstore near me, which I have a whole video of when I went there for the first time, which you can go check out. But they had copies of this in, which this book has since been picked up by the publisher and will get like a new release, which this was basically like a special edition that the author did herself on her website. And so my local bookstore is like super awesome and offers a lot of like signed copies from authors, which I love. And my husband was super sweet and went and picked this up for me because I knew it would sell out instantly. They didn't have very many, and it did. It sold out like instantly, but he got there right when they opened and grabbed one for me, and so I'm so stinking thankful, and I'm so excited because this is one of my favorite fantasy romances of the year. And like I said, you can't get these anymore because they're no longer on the author's website, as well as it got pulled anyways because it is getting a traditional published release in December, I think. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this now. And like you can't tell, but like the quality of this is just like so thick and nice. I love it. Next up, I was sent 2 Christmas romances from Forever, and I am so excited. So I sent these from the publisher, Snowden by Catherine Walsh. I guess they picked this one up because I read it last year and loved it. I love this author's holiday romances so stinking much, so I'm so excited to have a physical copy of this one. And they also sent me Christmas Sweater Weather by Jacqueline Snow. I'm very excited to check this one out as well. I'm trying to remember if I read this author before, possibly, or they've been on my TBR. I'm very excited. Like, I love holiday romances so much, like any holiday, Halloween, Valentine's Day, give me winter, Christmas. I'm so excited. Speaking of winter, Christmas, I have Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I was sent this by the publisher. This one I didn't sadly love, which I was so sad because it's so pretty, and it's a sapphic holiday second chance romance. It just didn't work for me, so I don't know. I might need to try it again later on, closer to the season, because it wasn't my favorite, and I've loved everything else I've read from this author, so that made me sad, but it is stunning, and I'm very excited to have it. All right, so I was talking about that artist earlier who did Wolf's cover as well, and so this is Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. This is one of my favorites of the year, honestly. It's romantic suspense, it's small town, it is so stinking good. I love it so much. It was my favorite in August, so I've already gushed about it in like my 5-star favorites video, but this one I had to grab from the author's site, so there's like an overlay in here, and it came with like signed goodies as well, and it's like signed from her too, and so I had to grab it because I love it so stinking much. Definitely go check this one out, please, please, please. The second book comes out I think in December, and I'm so excited. Next I was sent Duke of Wrath by Mariah Stone from the author. So this is a new historical romance, and I'm always down for historical romance, and I think this one is Beauty and the Beast. Yes, Beauty tames the Beast when a marriage of convenience becomes anything but convenient for a duke with dark secrets. So I'm very excited to check this one out because, you know, I love historical romances. So let me know if you've read this author before. I feel like I've seen her books a ton on Instagram, and I need to still read her. All right, next is one of my recent favorites. So this is Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. I love this one. Basically in here, the heroine is a producer for like a web series, and she needs to get a new show to produce, and so she hears the Heroes podcast where he talks about basically like Bigfoot and conspiracy theories and all that type of stuff, and she loves what she hears on his podcast, and so she offers him up a web series job. And so when he gets there, he doesn't like translate very well to like on camera. He's not very comfortable, or like there's no like charisma and charm anymore, and so she steps in and is on camera with him asking him questions, and she's like a non-believer in all the things he believes in, and so their chemistry is super, super good, and so they have to work together like on camera and go to like ghost places and haunted ships and haunted hotels and all the things, and it's so much fun. And the hero is honestly the best thing about this book. I love it. There's a lot of like character and emotional growth in here for both of them. I love this one. Highly recommend you check it out. Next, I was at a used bookstore recently and saw Dark House by Karina Halley, which I feel like is one of her earlier dark kind of thrillery horror romances. I know one of my book besties has read this, and I know she liked it, so I need to check it out as well. Like I said, it was at the used bookstore, which I feel like was super rare because it is an indie and like an older one, so I'm excited to check it out. Next, I was sent some historical romances from the publisher, so these are both from Forever. So first up is The Worst Duke in London by Amelie Howard. This is her newest release. This one I think is 10 Things I Hate About You, Taming of the Shrew type retelling. Could be wrong there, but I feel like she's already done Clueless. She's already done, what else did she do? Pretty Woman. I think it's 10 Things I Hate About You. I could be totally wrong, but I'm excited to check it out because I do love Amelie Howard's historical romances. Next, I was sent this ARC copy of Duchess Material by Emily Sullivan. So this one comes out on November 19th. I'm excited to get to it. I absolutely loved the first book in the series by this author, which was A Rogue to Remember. Back then we had the more beautiful people cover historical romances, but it's fine. But anyways, I'm excited to check this one out because I am, so why not? So historical romance comes out in November. I was gonna say the other ones in the series didn't work as well for me, but the first one I love so much, so I'm excited to get to this one. All right, next I grabbed some Book of the Month books. So this was for the October pick. So this is The Wild Huntress by Emily Lloyd Jones. And this one, I think they said, is it fantasy? I can't remember why I picked this one up. So every 5th year, as harvest wanes, 2 kingdoms meet in Wooden Domain, and those who cannot hunt nor slay belong to your king for a year and a day. Kings and beggars, trust to your aim, for in the wild hunt, all are fair game. Actually, this sounds really fun and good, and I love that little like poem situation. So I'm excited to check this one out. And then I also had some credits. So I recently read Yaa Gyasi for the first time and loved her like historical fiction type book. And so I wanted to grab this second book from the author as well. So this is Transcendent Kingdom. It's not the second book like in a series, it's just the second from the author because they only have a couple books out. And so this was like from Book of the Month a couple years ago. Yeah, September 2020. So I grabbed it because I had some credits and like why the heck not? And I can't wait to get to it. Next up, I was sent by the author When You Give a Lawyer a Kiss by Anne Einerson. I absolutely love this one. This is like more on the shorter side. I think it was like supposed to be a novella, but it's kind of like a little over 200 pages. It's like 230, 40 pages. Really, really cute and love this one. The hero is a tattoo artist by night and a lawyer by day. And so him and the heroine meet, they have a moment, they kiss, he saves her from kind of like a first date gone bad situation, and then they go their separate ways. And then later on they meet again because she is working as a paralegal at his law firm. So he is her boss and he is obsessed and wants her around him all the time. And it kind of goes from there because it's like workplace forbidden vibes. I really, really loved this one. It's also like New York City in the fall. It's like perfect to read right now. Highly recommend. I was also sent a copy of The X-Files by Jessica Joyce from the publisher. I read this one September-ish, October-ish. I did really enjoy this one. I have read, I think, all of this author's books so far. I think she has like 2 in a novella. I've read them all. I love them. This one was so good. It's like Second Chance, and I really enjoyed the like winery Napa setting as well. Really, really enjoyed this one, so definitely recommend you check it out. Next is Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I kept seeing this one all over like Instagram, in my friends group chats, all the things. And so I decided to check it out as well. And I'm so glad I did because I went in with kind of like whatever expectations and absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorites of this month. It was so good. So basically this is a masked man hero and the heroine is into that kind of things. Like she watches a ton of like thirst trap type videos of masked men. She's also a trauma nurse. And so when she gets off her shift, she watches those videos and has a fun time and has all these like fantasies. And so the hero ends up knowing her in real life because she was kind of seen his roommate at one time. They're kind of just like hookup pals, but like very casual. And so he saw her one time and was very into her. And so now he finds out that her and his friend are like no longer a situation anymore because his friend has a girlfriend now or seeing somebody else. And so he's like, oh my God, can you believe what this girl just messaged me? She wants me to like dress up as one of these masked men, and shows the hero the photo, and it's a photo of him from one of his videos. And he's like, oh my God, wait, what? Like, she's into me. And so he finds out she's like one of his hugest fans and always comments on his videos. And so he decides to have some fun and go to her place and do some things. And it's so good. I love the hero in here because it's like dark, obviously, with like the situation, but it's not like uber dark. And so the hero is just like the sweetest thing. And I loved the like very fun banter and humor that they have in here. It's very like witty, and like a lot of people are comparing this to like the Bren Weaver series, but I love this one way more. It was so much fun. I had such a fun time. Really enjoyed it. Basically in here, the hero, his father was like a person that people make true crime videos and episodes about. And so he has never wanted to be compared to his father. And so he has tried to stay away from social media, stay away from being out in the public. And so he's very much like isolated, keeps to himself. That's why he took to wearing a mask in videos to have fun and show off and like have a good time. And so he's very like naive to situations and trying to like get to know her and show her he's interested. And it's so cute and charming. And I loved it so much, and you have to read it. And that was probably like the worst way to describe it, but it's so good. Highly recommend. All right. And then another one I have is Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. So I grabbed this one. The end pages are stunning. and it has a really beautiful art in here as well in color, which I think is so stinking pretty. I know my friend Samantha from Books with Samantha actually put this on my TBR, which my husband has talked about Brandon Sanderson books for years to me and has always told me to pick them up, but like she said it and I now want to read it instead of him saying it. It's a whole thing. But anyways, I'm excited to check this one out. So yeah, that is this one. I had to grab it because I think I got this during the Amazon Prime Day deals. It was like on sale, so I grabbed it. Well, I could because it's hardcover and it's beautiful. All right, and then lastly, I have a whole stinking stack of historical fiction, so let's get into it. All right, so first up is The Porcelain Maker by Sarah Freethy. So Tori from Novel Life and I have a historical fiction book club where we read historical fictions every month. It's called Leave It to the Pros Book Club, and we have an Instagram for it. You can go see our book club pics there, and then we have live shows on our YouTube channel. So like this month for this book will be on her channel, next month will be mine, and so forth. And so we talk about the books that we read, and we're having so much fun and just like in a historical fiction era right now. And so this is our October pick, and I had to get it because I think the cover is so stinking pretty. So this one spans literally years. So this one starts off with like pre-World War II, it goes into World War II, and then it is after in the 90s as well, following a character. Just kind of this like epic family story, saga, heartbreak, love. This one is the author's debut, and I'm currently in the middle of reading it, and so I will let you know how it is on our live show and at my October wrap-up. So yeah, this is our book club pick. So then I think the next big group of all of these I got at a used bookstore. So I had trade credit there from taking in books, swapping them out, and then being able to pick up new books. So this is The Second Mrs. Astor, and I'm very excited to check this one out because this is like a Titanic story situation. Basically, it's a true story where it follows Madeline. She's, I think, 17 years old. She becomes a bride to John Jacob Astor, who is like a super wealthy, popular, influential, prestigious, all the things man of the time. And so they end up on the Titanic after their honeymoon or for their honeymoon, coming back from it, something like that. It's their story, and I'm very excited to check this one out. So yeah, that's this one. All right, so then I have two Kate Quinn books, which I've read two of her books recently. This is one of them. The other one I don't have a copy of. But so Tori and I read Kate Quinn's newest release, which is The Briar Club. We read that for our August book club pick, and we had a really good time with that one. So then we decided to co-host a historical fiction readathon in September, and so our group pick was The Rose Code for that. And so we read it, and I had found a copy at the used bookstore. So this one is Codebreakers, World War II, follows three women, and it was good, just not my favorite from the author so far. So I have a physical copy of it though. Then I also picked up The Alice Network at the same time at the used bookstore, and I'm very excited to get to this one because I know people love it as well. And I really enjoy Kate Quinn's writing and her books. Like, they've all been 4 stars for me. I just liked her newest release the best so far. So I'm excited to check out more from her. All right, and then next I have been obsessed with Chanel Clayton's historical fictions. So this is the Perez family series. I've read them all. I love them all, and I found them at used bookstores, except for one of them I got new. And so I'm very excited for all of these because they were all 4, 4.5, 5 stars for me. I love them so much. So good. They blend like romance and family and politics, and it's just so good. Highly recommend this entire series so much, which I talk about all of these a lot more in my recent used bookstore come shopping with me historical fiction haul day, which I'll link in the video. But first up is Next Year in Havana. Love it so much. Then we have When We Left Cuba, one of my favorites. We also have The Last Train to Key West, my favorite. Then we have The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba. Really enjoyed this one. And then we have another one of my favorites, which is Our Last Days in Barcelona. So yeah, highly recommend the whole series. Definitely check it out. Also at the used bookstore, I picked up The Last Year of the War by Susan Meissner. This one I'm excited to get to it because in here, I think the heroine, yeah, we're following an American teenage girl whose entire family gets put into an internment camp in the US during World War II because her father was an immigrant from Germany, but 20 years since. And so it goes from there, and there she meets a Japanese American teenager as well, which I was talked about in my Come Shopping With Me vlog. My grandmother, she was Japanese, and she actually ended up in an internment camp during World War II as well with her family in the US. And so I'm very excited to kind of check this out and see these characters' journeys in that situation. All right, and then next up, I really want to read Noelle Salazar, so I grabbed 2 of her books. Angel of the Resistance is her newest one. This takes place in the Netherlands. I'm excited to get to it because I actually went to school in the Netherlands when I was a teenager, so I'm excited to check it out, and I love anything set in the Netherlands with the windmills, just so pretty. And then The Flight Girls is her most popular book, and I think her first book possibly. This one is World War II Pearl Harbor, for following female flight pilots, I think that's the synopsis. I'm excited to get to both of these. All right, and then one of my favorites that I read during the historical fiction readathon, I loved it so much I had to go get a physical copy, is Homegoing by Ya Jessie. This one I loved so much. One of my favorites, my only 5-star read for September. This one spans 300 years, and it follows this entire family, so it's very much like a family saga. It starts in the 1700s in Ghana, and we follow each chapter is a different descendants chapter. So somebody gets a chapter, their descendant gets the next chapter, their descendant from there and so far down the line, and we're all the way into modern day and like Harlem. And so it's just so good, and I loved how well all the stories like blend and tie together. Even though all these characters are on different journeys, they have this like overall hope. So good, so powerful. I loved it. It was basically like a family tree but in literary form. Love this journey so much. And then I decided to grab All the Lights We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I have heard amazing things about this book. It's been on my TBR for years, and so I think it's gonna hurt, and we will see when I get to it. But I've heard amazing, great things, so I wanted to finally check it out. All right, and last but certainly not least, these are gonna be very loud because I still have them in plastic because I don't want to take them out because they're cloth bound until I find a place for them on my shelves. But this is the Lost and Found series by Catherine Cowles, which I love so much. So let me show you one of them. All right, so here is Whispers of You, the first book in the series. These are all cloth bound and they're gorgeous shades of pink, and they go kind of like ombre, and they're so stinking pretty with the gold on here and on the back as well. There are sprayed edges, and they're just so pretty. All of the interior formatting is different for all the books, which I love. And they're all signed by Catherine as well. And they're just so stinking beautiful, and I'm so excited because I love this series to pieces. So I'm so excited to have them on my shelves, which I think I can show kind of there. Like even the sprayed edges are ombre as well, and they're just they're so stunning. Sorry they're so loud and like in plastic still, but like I want to keep them safe and precious until I put them on my shelves. So that is the Lost and Found series. That was a special edition that the author did herself through her website, and I think they were going to be limited edition, but now people like really want to get them, so they might have extras up for sale. Possibly like follow her newsletter, follow her on Instagram, follow her in all the places because she's amazing. But definitely check that out because I think they might have a restock, possibly something like that. They're stunning. The whole box came with so many goodies, and it's just so beautiful. I think I did an unboxing on one of my shorts on YouTube/Instagram as well. So yeah, definitely check those out. All right, so that is all of the books that I have to haul today. Hopefully that was all of them that I remembered. I have books upon books around here, but I think that was all of them for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to leave me an emoji in the comments today, leave me a pink heart because I just showed you those beautiful pink editions by Catherine Cowles. So do that. If you've read any of the books that I hauled that I haven't read yet, definitely let me know if I should bump those up onto my TBR sooner than later. If you hauled a book recently that you were really excited for, let me know that as well. And yeah, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will see you in my next one.